Yeah, so yeah, we back with
episode number 2.
facts, talking about spirituality versus religion. So we're gonna go ahead and kick it off, man. So what's up?
Well, you didn't really prepare for this. It's kind of been a while.
Yeah, it has, but you should still have your questions. You sent them to me.
I do.
You know, it's weird because the last time when we was kind of talking about it before, I was reading this book, The Undiscovered Self by Carl Jung. Alright, so people's gonna start testing me now, but it's all good though. You know what I mean? It's just somebody letting me know that they got somewhere safe, so that's what's up. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, yeah, so I was reading this book though, man, called The Undiscovered Self, and it's wild because Carl Jung, or Carl Jung, however you pronounce it, C-A-R-L, and then last name is J-U-N-G, right? Was a psychologist and wrote a book. This book was published in 1957, believe it or not, bruh. Like, so it's old. Remember when we went to Barnes and Noble?
Yeah.
And we got them books?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I just finished.
Oh, so you
Shut up.
finished.
It don't matter. I just finished. But it don't matter. You know
So
what I'm
you
saying?
ain't been reading it, is what I'm hearing.
But I mean, I just be busy, man. You know, I be having other stuff going. He don't understand, man. I be having other stuff going on. You feel me? So like,
I wouldn't understand. So.
but I'm finished now. You feel me? So that's all that matters. I did get through. And yo, he had some interesting stuff to say about just like, I mean, what he was basically talking about, in my opinion, and like what I got from the book was him talking about how man has at that time, and I feel like still today and even more today, like as man becomes more what's the word that I'm more
Advanced?
no, because I wouldn't necessarily say advanced, but as man becomes more
Knowledgeable.
logical with what man considers to be logical with his thinking, right? Like he started dropping what he considers to be superstitious behavior, which would really relate to like the soul and things like that, spirituality and all of the above. All of that is considered to be mysticism and metaphysics, right? So that really gets lumped in with religion when you think about it. Like spirituality and religion to the logical person is almost the same thing.
I have a question.
What?
Have I already asked you this? Like, what do you think, like, math or whatever we think is logical was created, or was it, like, found out? Have I asked you that question yet?
Nah, you ain't never asked me that question. So you mean like far as like how we use math, or how math seems to be the language of everything, right?
Yeah.
Like math is borderline the only universal thing. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I feel like mathematics is the language of the universe, and we just being the personification of the universe. Remember, I was telling you that. Like, I feel like man is the personification of the universe because of our ability to use our conscious and unconscious thought to manifest what we see in our mind into reality. You get what I'm saying? So like, but what we don't understand, and that's what he was saying about, that's what I feel like my man was saying about, you know, our logical, quote unquote, way of thinking, is that we now completely disassociate the spiritual realm or the psychic realm or that realm where during sleep, because really what he dealt more with was dreams, and he was more like one of them people where he interpreted dreams, you understand what I'm saying, to help people with their psychological issues and whatnot, right, to try to understand the person. But he was also saying too how it's kind of like a weird double-edged sword where you can use a dream to understand the person, but you have to understand the person before you can understand their dreams. So you kind of have to understand what they do or how they mind work consciously to understand their subconscious and their unconscious behavior. You feel me? So essentially, man, like what I'm saying though is like mathematics is not something that we create. Mathematics is something that we understand. Does that make sense? Like we don't create the math. We use the math to explain creation.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So, not on that note, I have a different question. Was gonna ask.
I don't know, man, because I can't read your mind. I mean, I wish I could, but I can't. You know what I'm saying? That's not one of my abilities out here in these streets.
Okay. I wish it was.
Yeah, I know, right? That would be cool.
You could find out a lot of things like that.
Oh, man, that would be, I'm telling you. I mean, but I still think the most awesomest superpower, though, is the, did you check your butt?
No, those are the poop superpowers.
That would be the best. That's still the best superpower, hands down. You know, no question.
Those were the poop superpowers.
But seriously though, man. Like back to it though, man. Like spirituality, like I said, like it's weird. I ain't gonna say weird, but it's wild that we're having this discussion now for episode 2 because I just finished reading that book. Now I'm moving on to the other one. The other one is thicker, but I'm like 100 pages deep into that one already. That one is Man and His Symbols.
Man, his symbols. Huh?
Yeah, you know what I mean? And so that basically goes on to explain more about this dream state. So this book was published 10 years later, the one that I'm reading now.
By the same publisher?
Same guy, but it was a combination of psychologists that got together to write it. You know what I mean? So he basically published, like he passed away before the book got published. Carl Jung did. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's published under his name as the author. You know?
Disclaimer: I don't read books like that. I'm gonna be honest.
The anime guy over here, you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to put him on though, and I think that he the reason why I don't have my my book by the Dalai Lama anymore.
I'm not the reason.
Yo, that book was dope. Like if ever y'all get a chance to check that out, man, y'all need to read The Universe in a Single Atom. That was the name of it by the Dalai Lama. Yo, when I tell you what that book break down though, bro, is like, so like I said, Hindu practice and Buddhist practice, man, like it's weird sometimes how it's like they have had to drop on quantum physics and quantum mechanics and cyclical time and things like that, because time, I feel like we believe that time marches forward, right? Like you believe that because we get older, time is going in a linear direction forward, right?
Yep.
Nah, time actually is cyclical, and if you think about everything else, and you know what cyclical mean, right?
No.
Cycles. But if you think about how everything works, why do humans believe that time is linear when everything around us operates in cycles? Does that make sense? Think about it for a second. Name something that does not operate, that's not of a human creation, that's not a part of our technology, therefore an extension of us, which obviously has a finite, so it moves in a linear way, you understand? But name something else that does not move in a cycle type of a manner. You talking about the trees?
No. Okay.
Because I was just about to say, bro, you wilding for real. Are you trying to tell me they don't shed their leaves during the cold times? All right, go ahead. So name something though. Name something that we can credit as being alive.
No, see, I was gonna say trees until you said the cyclical part. See, now I can't think of anything.
Nothing, right? Nothing. Not even the planet Earth, not even the way we go around the sun, not even the way we measure our seasons, not the way we look at our calendar, the way we look at, even the way we look at time, really, if you think about it, the calendar repeats itself. January through December, every single year, the only thing that changes is the year. But that's our problem because we are finite creatures. It's like we can sometimes only understand things through the way that it affects us. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just like a year on Earth is not the same as a year on Mars. It's not the same as a year on Venus. It's not the same as a year on Jupiter. So how long would your life be if it took Earth the same amount of time to go around the sun as it took Jupiter? Do you think you would live a year?
Okay. See,
You would even be one. For you be dead as a mug, yeah? That's crazy, right?
that doesn't. You'd still age the same. It's just the year and the time.
How do you know you would still age the same though? You don't think that your environment affects that?
Yeah, no, I didn't say that. Right? See, I'm saying is, well, okay.
But see, man, I don't know. You seem to be stumped. So while he's over here stumped, guys, he's stumped. He don't even know what to say. So while he's stumped, though, for real, I'm gonna go ahead on and say, man, that like, that's why I say that, like, we were saying spirituality versus religion, but at the end of the day, the more I start sitting back thinking about it, man, the way mankind look at it, it's almost hand in hand, but it's not. I feel like the difference between religion and spirituality is the organized state of religion, the institutionalism within religion. Religion is now an institution, whereas spirituality is an individual experience. You see what I'm saying? If I'm a part of a religion, then I claim to be Christian, then I am supposedly adhering to the same creeds basically as a group of people. And that's another thing that book was talking about in the Undiscovered Self, was like how, and I felt like that was super deep, bro. Like, all of the institutions that we uphold, including the state that we live in, the country that we live in, everything, man, all depends on a large group or the larger group of individuals agreeing on it. Because at the end of the day, everything is propped up by the individual. The individual is more important in the equation as society tries to teach you that you are. You feel me?
Yeah.
Because it takes you to adhere to it for it to be upheld. And if the large majority, that's the problem. Like, majority rule, we already know that. Like, I mean, you know, unless you can come with a way to overcome the majority, you see what I'm saying? Like, majority rules, so like that be what you got to overcome. But at the end of the day, if each individual understood more that they were the individual and that they are the ultimate piece to the equation, then I feel like we would really start to move different as humans. But I feel like that's where spirituality comes into play, and that's what spirituality was trying to do when you talk about the ancient mystery school teachings of Egypt, and even the Native American practices, like the way that they developed their youth, the way that they developed the children. You understand what I'm saying? They developed them in a way where they tried to get them to understand certain things, to know themselves. And so we look at it as being a religion, but not all of it was really a religion. It came down to us as religion because, again, I feel like that was the best and easiest way to put something that became a best practice into use on a systematic basis. So that's where I feel like religion comes from, is this drive to first want to implement something that we have now found out within our community. This is a best practice for us to do. We need to instill this into our children and their children and the children after them. So the best way for us to do that is to formulate these stories and parables and make it something where we can make it interesting and rememberable. You see what I'm saying? Because things that we done proved through the way that we advertise to people is that the way that the human mind works, it works based on these series of flashes. I'm sorry, y'all. It sounds like a plane is about to land on the track. But, and mind you, we're like in Winston, like no airport. So like, where are they going?
It's crashing.
No, they ain't crashing. It's probably going to the service airport. It is an airport here, but still.
And that's where Jesus comes in, right? Like the Bible.
I mean, see, yeah, if you want to ask specific questions about like Jesus and like where Jesus comes from, man, like Jesus, like you need to. so that we don't spend too much time and make this episode too long, bro, I wanna put time into telling you to go and do research on the story of Jesus and where that story actually comes from. What older texts from more ancient civilizations had any effects on the story that we now understand as Jesus? Because they believe in, oh, I had this vision and you can't go off an individual. That's your own individual. You understand what I'm saying? That's your experience, not mine. You feel me? So like I can't relate necessarily to your experience. However, we can all agree on historical information, because that historical fact can't be argued. Don't care about your opinion, don't matter. You know, at the end of the day, be an individual and make your own decisions, but make your decisions based on educated information and based on information that is factual and not just something that somebody told you.
See, you know how you said go off for education, right?
Yep.
Educational information.
Yep.
See, that's not really what people see faith as. See, faith is just going off of what people tell you, pretty much. And it's going off of like just blindly believing. That's what faith is, I think.
Do you really think that that's what faith is?
That's what I've seen a lot on.
So that's your honest opinion right there on what you think faith is.
That's
is
mine.
A blind belief in something that you just blindly believe in.
Not really blindly,
I mean, but that's essentially what you're saying, because at the end of the day, you can't prove it, right?
yeah.
That's essentially what you're saying. But I guess what I'm saying is those experiences are absolutely right. And that's why I say I'm not here to question anybody's individual experience on what they feel is right. All that I'm here to say is still understand and know what the historical value of some of the things that you might pray to is. You get what I'm saying? So like things about Jesus that are exactly the same. So Jesus was born of a virgin. You know that, right? He was born of a Virgin Mary, right? Meaning basically that he was born of an immaculate conception. She wasn't touched by a man. His story is that this exact same story is the story of Heru, which is an Egyptian god. He is as a matter of fact, so it is Heru, Aset, and Asar. You know what I'm saying? So Heru was the son, Aset was the mother, and Asar was the father. So Asar was chopped up. Asar and his brother, basically his brother is the representation of the night, and cuts my man up into, I want to say it was 10 pieces or 12 pieces. So Aset goes out with her sister to go find all of the pieces to put them back together to bring the husband back to life. After he kills him and chops him up into these pieces, he scattered the pieces across the world. Chop off his, what they call the phallus, which is the penis, you know what I'm saying? Chops that off, feed it to a crocodile, right? Crazy. So the wife and the sister sets out to find all of the parts, put them all back together. Obviously they can't get the phallus because got ate by the crocodile. So she can't get the phallus. However, they don't have a child. So she brings him back to life by like turning into like kind of like this bird thing or something and like flapping over him or whatever. And in doing so, like a magical phallus like appears and she gets impregnated with Heru. See what I'm saying? Immaculate conception. And Heru is born and he goes on to like conquer Hades because I think he's the son or whatever. And so since he's the son, you know, they always, well, it's not that he conquers, it's like they're always locked in this epic battle where the sun wins and then Hades wins because, you know, we go through day and night every day. You know what I'm saying? So it's really a parable story, you know, but it's more of a, you know, go look that up though, man. You need to go look that up. Heru, Asar, and Aset. I'm telling you, that's the same story of the Virgin Mary and Jesus. Christianity, as a matter of fact, man, is a weird religion because a lot of stuff that you know and love that we associate to Christianity is really a paganistic origination. The Christmas tree, the Easter bunny, the Easter egg, the mistletoe at Christmas.
I'm still confused. Like, is his birthday on Easter? Is his birthday on Christmas?
You see what I'm saying? Easter is a floating holiday. You know, it's never on the same day. It's the first Sunday after the first full moon of the vernal equinox, I want to say.
No idea.
Exactly. It's a celestial event. It's not. Remember when I was telling you how religions all seem to have like a holiday around a celestial event? Easter is one of them. When spring starts. The vernal equinox. Look it up. You got your phone?
1%, man. Okay.
Oh my God, you killed me coming out of the house with no charge, bro.
I know, right?
Here, man, huh? Look, here's a charger. Darn. This guy, man, I swear, him and his phone.
Yeah, bro.
He just raggedy. You know what I'm saying?
All right, first off.
But while you doing all of that, man, but like I said, man, but like, yo, when it come down to it, man, like, it's
Look up
so
what?
deep when it come down to stuff like that, man, but, you know.
Oh, celestial events.
Yep, well, look up the vernal equinox.
All right, Monday, March 20th.
Right, so I am correct. The vernal equinox, all right. So that, look up Easter. I mean, it's the first Sunday after the first full moon after the vernal equinox.
Easter occurs on the first Sunday after the partial full moon. In simple terms, this first full moon immediately following the vernal equinox.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
you're right.
thank you. I'm not lying. You
Word
get what
for
I'm saying? Word for word, bro. You know what I'm saying? It is the first Sunday after the first full moon after the vernal equinox, which is why it does not happen on the same day, which is another reason that Easter, that holiday, what does it celebrate? Passover? I want to say, I don't even know what it even celebrates in
I don't
the
either. I just
actual
know the Easter
tradition.
Bunny, man.
Right? You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know. But I mean, but you're talking about whether or not, here's another one about Christmas though, and the birth. What?
It says for Easter it's the celebration of the resurrection, and for Christmas it's the birth.
Is the holiday that symbolizes the birth. I'm gonna show you how really it's a holiday that really symbolizes the. It's also the symbolizing. Okay, I'm sorry. The vernal equinox is the symbolizing of the start of spring. So that's the beginning of spring.
I think we're talking
But
about this in the next video.
the Christmas holiday is around the time that the sun is at its lowest point. Okay, so the astrological significance, the celestial significance of Christmas and that holiday. And
I don't know. I think we should talk about this next video.
Nah. Yeah, it is. But anyway, I'm gonna finish this one first though, and we'll talk. We'll wait. So anyway, so look. So this realness right here though. So at the end of the day, what happens at Christmas is, and you can look this up. So there is actually a constellation that's called the Crook. At Christmas on the 22nd, the sun is at its lowest point in the sky in the northern hemisphere. It sits there for 3 days. On the third day, it starts its climb back into basically where we are in the solar, in our orbit around the sun. At that point, though, that is when we are getting into the point where now we're coming around the sun to the point where now the tilt of the earth, the northern hemisphere is being tilted now towards the sun. You get what I'm saying? You know how it's the tilt already.
Yeah.
So we sit at that point for 3 days. So basically, in other words, that is the death of the sun. And then 3 days later, it is the sun's birth back into the northern hemisphere. And it is born, or its death occurs at the Crooks constellation. Look it up.
Oh, yeah.
See my line.
Gotcha.
So before we get off of this,
You want me to look up again?
look up the Crooks and Christmas.
Ah, found it.
Haha.
Or did I? Am I tripping? This better give me what I'm looking for.
I know, right? Are you tripping? Because I think I was seeing something else too. Crooks of Christmas?
For the Christmas, the birth of Jesus, the Son of God, born to redeem human race from sin.
Let's see, the Crooks and the Sun.
It gives me something out of the Bible.
Sun and the Southern Cross and those three wise men. See, look. So why December 25th? As the days grow shorter in the period leading up to the winter solstice, the sun appears to stop moving south or north, depending on which hemisphere you are in, and stay still for 3 days, the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th of December in the northern hemisphere, and the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd of June in the southern hemisphere. This is the meaning of the word solstice, sun standing still. To our ancestors, this period symbolized the death of the sun god, son of God, and when 3 days later, on the 25th of December, the sun started moving again, the sun was reborn. Hence the birth of Jesus at this time, the sun god or son of God.
So what?
Should we reread it?
I got all the information. And I'm just trying to.
We talk about Christianity a lot, like Islam. You need to look into stuff like Islam, Judaism. Christianity and Islam are both basically stacked on top of Judaism. Like Judaism is the base for both of those religions. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of weird with that. But you need to look into other stuff like that since you're kind of interested in religions, you know, voodoo, all of that. You know what I mean? But spirituality is something I feel like I said, completely different. Although the way that man has shunned both, it's kind of lumped in the same category now, you know?
Yeah.
So, because like I said, the logical man doesn't believe that spirituality or that there's anything that you can get from the spiritual realm. They're still trying to find consciousness in your body somewhere.
Never gonna get to it.
They're never gonna find it. You know what I mean? It's never gonna find it, bro. Like, it's an enigma. It is the soul. You get me? Like, we're all the individual spark of, you know what I mean? Like, we are, like I said, like, we just are. Like, that's why I feel like we get phrases like, I am that I am. I am the Alpha and I am the Omega. That's us, but in a spiritual sense. Not in your finite body, you feel me? In a spiritual sense, though, you feel me? Like, you are me. It just takes for me and your mom to come together in order to produce another human being, but half of you is me, bro.
Okay, I have a question though.
What?
What if like would there be any consequences if you were like conscious in your soul?
Conscious of your soul?
Conscious of your soul, conscious in your soul. You don't have to be in your body to be conscious. That's what I'm saying.
Do you think there would be any consequences to that?
Maybe.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there would be. Maybe that's the reason why we can't experience our soul. We can't experience our unconscious unless we're in a dream state. We can't experience, you see what I'm saying? Like, we don't perceive ourselves as experiencing that during a waking state.
But see, in our dream state, if you're talking about like, wait, what is the dream state to you? What is it?
When you sleep.
When you sleep, yeah.
I mean, well, to me, when you sleep, but some people are in dream states and they wide awake.
Yeah, it's like you're like in omnipotent in your dreams, bro.
So you're what?
So you're like omnipotent in your dreams.
I don't know, not really, man. If you think about it, your dreams usually,
Hey,
your dreams are not usually designed, or I mean, I guess it depends on how your mind works, but your dreams don't always come with this sense of invulnerability, like where you're like invincible.
That's unless you're conscious in your dream, which you can't really tell the difference.
I mean, I don't know.
The only reason you can't tell the difference is because since your mind is guessing, it can, well, guessing what everything looks like, it can, you know, I don't really know.
Look,
Yeah.
look.
I was on to something, but
But he lost it.
I lost it.
Oh well. Well, I guess we're gonna sign off because yeah, this has been a rather in-depth conversation. So until next time, good people, remember to hit that like button and that subscribe button though, please. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, on the real. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. And call it a day. It's a little warm out here, so
All right. Always drink your water. Stay healthy. We'll see you later.
big facts. Deuce.